eCarrierChecks is the key, innovating the process, can't you see? With the platform so smooth, keeps the workflow tight, efficiency and value, ice every single night. Risk profiles, they got 'em, man, it's no joke. North America's the stage and they never choke. Metrics on point, updated without fail. Chameleon carriers, they're on the trail. Don't play with unsafe companies, don't be that guy. eCarrierChecks, keeping it safe under the sky. 40 plus filters with the search that can drive carrier information in the FMCSA archive. Find your carrier with precision and needs. Location, equipment feeds. They got the keys. FTL shipper leads. They're right there for you. Real-time authorities, what they do. Crazy, breezy, ultimates. The dashboards away. Freedom from low boards. They got it every day. eCarrierChecks, the architect leading the way.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to the eCarrierCheck show. Excited to be here. Our show is dedicated and wholly founded on just educating people and trying to bring a lot of value, man. And I'm excited to be here. We have Paul with us today. And if anyone's bringing some value, man, this is the guy. This is the guy. Paul with FR8Connect. FR8Connect LLC. Paul, welcome to the show, brother. How are you?
Man, I'm doing great. And after that intro, as far as the the truck and all, I am like ready for the show.
Yeah,
I'm ready for the show. So
this is awesome. After a big W last night from Kansas, the Chiefs. You know, it's Friday today. We got some more football today. Man, I'm excited. I'm excited to really talk with you too, Paul, because you bring a lot of value to this industry, and we've, thanks to DIY, he's brought a lot of carriers our way that watch our show. And Jared hit it on the head. We want to try to educate as much people as we can, which is why we're meeting with you today, because you have insane knowledge of this in this industry. You're trying to change some lives here, so I'm excited to pick your brain on what you got going on at FR8Connect and how some of these carriers can elevate their business.
Yeah. I think, Paul, real quick before you jump in, if you don't mind, for the audience watching, give us kind of the 30,000 foot view of what you do to help carriers grow their business.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely, man. I appreciate it. And DIY, great guy. And, he hooked us up and, definitely he's got a lot to offer, and it's been amazing to see him grow. As far as what with FR8Connect, I mean, basically we're here to support the small guys, right? Small, medium, in terms of the carriers to grow. A lot of companies or a lot of carriers, they got started for many different reasons, right? It could be because they just wanted to be their own boss. They had a family and they really wanted to do some great things for their family, leave a legacy, or be a part of the community. There's just many different reasons why. And but when they get started, that's what it is. It's a start, right? And a lot of the carriers, they want to grow. They want to get that second, third, fourth truck. They want to do some other things, have a brokerage, right? Be able to really support other companies. And that part might not have been thought out, when they decided to jump into the business. So we work to support them in that effort to get them to that next level, put them in a position where, they can really see their vision, have a plan, and actually see that light at the end of the tunnel and actually get to work toward that, not just trying to get that next load. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And so it's a matter of connecting, not just, it's not just carriers, anymore in terms of just the focus. Brokers are part of it. Dispatch is a part of it. And of course, shippers are a part of it. So we tried to encompass all that within FR8Connect and our new platform. But we really try to support those carriers to help them go to the next level.
I tell you what, it's so interesting you say that. We talk to so many carriers, Paul, and they have the most amazing dreams. They know how to start it. They know how to truck. They've got uphill dreams, but for whatever reason, they have downhill habits. And I think this is what I'm excited to talk to you about is, carriers just miss the action point to a certain extent. They almost don't understand how to take it to that next level. And that's why I'm excited to get you here, is you're the bridge. You're the guy that's doing the bridge work here. Paul, give us some action items or things that carriers could be doing to just get started, outside of their dream. How do we start to build those habits?
I think that's great, and you guys put out a lot of great content, to help support that. And so going from just thinking about it, getting a truck, thinking it through. You get a truck, and what do we think? We're going to go to the load boards, right? And we're going to get our loads, and we're going to start moving, and that's definitely a way to get started. A lot of things have happened over the years. I got into this business in 2001. So I didn't even know what a broker was. I know anything, just like a lot of people, I didn't know. I had no clue that this whole world existed. But going from back then to now, when you started your bridge, or when you started your got your authority, it might be 3 months before someone works with you, right? Today it can be up to a year. Some it can be 2 years, it can be whatever. But that's the change of the times. You've got a lot of fraud that's in our industry, so it's kind of like, okay, how do I get started in this thing, because I need loads to keep these wheels moving, right? And it's really about building relationships. I think when it comes down to it, whether it is with brokers, whether it is with shippers direct, and those things can happen even before you decide that you're going to get your authority. That it can happen, but that is something that's going to play a part in your business at some point in time, right? If you want to be in the spot market and stay in the spot market, that's fine, do that. But developing those relationships, being inquisitive. I mean, I think that's one of the main attributes to have, is to be inquisitive. Whether you're in a store, whether you're at a dock, whether you're watching TV, watching the news, or whatever the case is, be inquisitive about these things, because anything we look around, everything's moved on a truck. Would you say it's probably hit a truck at some point in time, right? So it's like watermelons. I mean, you're in the store and they've got the little sticker on there. It tells you where it comes from, right? It tells you where it comes from. So, and to pick up a phone and just ask someone, it doesn't require you to be a broker, doesn't require you to be a carrier. These are things that we can do and communicate, with these opportunities. You can test the market. You can communicate with people in your local area, businesses in your local area. I have never been shy to confront someone, in the sense of having questions, right? At the store, I'll ask questions all day, but when I walk away, I've gained some knowledge, right? And it's got me thinking about some other things. So some actionables, in my opinion, is one of the main things is just be inquisitive, right? Just about almost everything, just want to know.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, because, there's a lot of times that we talk with people and, that watch our show, and they always ask, what is the best question to be asking? And Jared always says, you're only as good as the questions that you do ask. So how do you support the carriers that may be lost on asking those right questions? What's that look like for the people that are just kind of new and they're not really sure what to be asking, if they're going in the right direction? And how do you kind of support that?
Yeah, of course, it depends on what it is that we're trying to accomplish at that moment in time. One of the things I hear is, a lot of just talked to someone yesterday who said they did not, their husband, who's a driver, would get information from someone at the dock, right? And whether it's a phone number, or exchange numbers, whatever the case might be, then when they call, they don't know who to talk to, right? They don't know who to ask for. And then it goes flat, right? They don't know where to go from there. And then 3 months, 4 months passes by and no action was taken. So just that as an example, for me, and it's different for everyone. I mean, there's so many different approaches you can take, right? For me, it's just a matter of what is it that I want to do? What am I trying to do? That person just told me what their challenge is, right? And that is finding the right person, right?
Yeah.
Hello,
Exactly.
this is Paul with FR8Connect. Yeah. Well, here's what I do, and I'm trying to find the person that makes the decisions when it comes to transportation needs, right? Oh, what does that mean? Explain it. They will get you where you need to get to. You know, that person who picks up the phone, in my opinion, they're an ally to me. You know, I don't look at them as an enemy or anything like that. They work for the company that I want to get business from, right? So whoever picks up the phone, I might as well start right there to build that rapport, right? And so right there off the bat, you know, I'm telling them exactly what my challenge is, you know. So I don't look at it as a mystery and say, okay, I got to figure out how do I how do I find this person? Don't ask yourself, because you don't have the answer, right? Ask the person that you're calling, you know, how do I find that person? Who is that person? They will tell you, you know, and that person can change, right? It can change from, you know, every 6 months or whatever the case might be. So, you know, you just have to ask and get the answer.
Yeah. You know, Tire Killer hits an interesting point. We got our carrier mix on today. What's up, guys? I appreciate you being on. You know, obviously there's a point to it where Tire Killer says, hey, you know, we got to figure out what our costs are. You know, anybody can get a truck and it'll be pulled. Absolutely. I think that these things need to run sort of at the same time. You can work on your operational understanding and knowledge base of being able to go, okay, it takes me $1.85 to run this thing a mile. I need to get anything on top of that. But at the same time, in order to get some of those rates, you need to start building relationships, and you got to run kind of hand in hand. And unfortunately, Tire Killer, you know this probably better than anybody. Not only are you the janitor of your truck, you're the maintenance guy, you're the you're the relationship builder. You're all of it, because guess what? You're the owner operator that runs that lane and does what you do. And so you just have to. I don't necessarily know if I believe in fully multitasking, but you need to give a full forwarded effort and focus on each item to make sure that things are clean, that things are running right, that I'm building relationships, that I'm finding loads, that I know what my profit levels are. All those things are really important, I think, as you're starting up, and actually even just in today's environment, you know, whether you've been doing this for 5 years or 10 years, you got to know these things.
Yeah, I think you're right on the money. And to your point, in terms of like multitasking, I mean, there are so many, as an owner operator, you're operating everything, right? You're operating the vehicle, you're the back end, you know, front end, it all. And you're the face, right, of the company. So with that, honestly, just like with any business, sales is involved, right? You know, however you want to look at it, it boils down to sales, right? So when we talk about sales, whether it's that you're going to the dealership to look for a new vehicle, or if you're at the bank, or it doesn't matter, if you're looking for more freight, there's a sales element that's involved. Now, with that said, the part that we're talking about is, you know, acquiring new opportunities. The question to me became, at least the way I saw it for carriers and others, how do I manage that process? You know what I'm saying? So when you think about it, it's okay to say, all right, here's how you do it. Here's how to go about getting these opportunities. But still, there's a management of that. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of these companies, these big companies or what have you, they have a sales department. And that sales department has processes, you know, while, you know, the CEO is doing what he's doing or she's doing, or while the accounting department is doing what they're doing, right? Everybody has their part to play. So each department, they have their tools in place to make it simple, you know, efficient, what have you. So just because you're a one-person operation, you still do have those different departments, right? And it's good to have tools involved, right? And the know-how. So that's where Elevate comes into play, where we say, okay, we understand you got all these things to do. How can we help to manage that process, this other piece, so that it is, so that you can actually visualize and say, okay, you know what, I can do this piece, or I can have someone do it, but Elevate can provide you with the tool to that for them to manage that, So we try to think of it in that way. All these things that you have to do, how can I get all this done in the time that I have, right? And that's what Elevate helps to do.
God, I love that. Go, Paul, just, for the sake of it, give us a rundown of what Elevate does from a service standpoint to just how you elevate, no pun intended here, how you take carriers and do what you do with them, because this is really important. Because if you don't feel like you can sell, if you don't feel like you're the sales guy, I can't sell. I hear that all the time. I can't sell. I'm like, you don't have to sell. You just have to be, maybe more outgoing than normal. Where do you step in and really try to bring that boat and rise it up a little bit here?
Yeah. Okay. So over the years, going back to, man, I've been in sales for a long time. And so transportation, that's just another vehicle, right? Being able to sell. And so back in 2001, when I get into whatever it is that I get into, it's always about knowing my product, right? And so knowing what we have to offer, what I'm going to be offering, and why, why am I offering this? So that it makes sense, not just to me, but I can also relay that to whoever I'm talking to. So as far as that goes, going from 2001 all the way up to now to today, at some point, I kind of went out on my own as far as a brokerage goes. A guy, he wanted me to help him develop a brokerage. So it's like, all right, let's do that. And that was in 2008, time when the economy was not great. All of a sudden the floor falls out. And so we stuck to that and stuck with that, doing the brokerage. And over time, we realized companies wanted to grow, carriers wanted to grow. So we started putting things together, programs together to help them with that. When we come to today, Elevate allows us to put together all those different programs that we've created over time. And so one of them is we do have a training program where we're able to support in regards to training on sales. We have we have lead generation where we can offer leads where they're targeted leads. We take information from you to find out about your company and be able to establish targeted leads for you. We also have where we can be the sales team, right? We can actually do that for you. Then we also have an economics piece. I got my degree in economics, but it plays a part in everything, right? So our industry follows economics, the economy. If there was not an economy, there would not be transportation, right? At least not a great need for it. So we put all these things together with Elevate. And what ends up happening is, and this is a goal of mine, is to help others to see a different picture, right? When you get into this business and you find that there's a lot of people in this industry that aren't in it for the right reasons, right? You end up getting jaded, right? And then it becomes all about the broker. Then it becomes all about, all these different bad players, and they do exist, right? On both sides, but there's more to this than that. It's not just the broker that is preventing us from growing. If we have the knowledge, then we can see a different picture, right? And we can start maneuvering in different ways to help us get to the next level, right? So that is what Elevate tries to do, is tries to help manage this whole process and give us a vision, a different vision, so that we can see the opportunity and actually see a pathway to that opportunity.
See, I love that.
Yeah, everything I learned in the streets. Yeah, I get it, brother. I get it.
I do too. Most of my learning comes from friggin' mistakes I made
on the streets.
Yeah, I got more scars than I know what to do with it. So I'm like, I find myself, honestly, I found that like I allow when it comes to decision making, I just need to go the other way. It's like my sports betting. I'm like, I know I should have taken the Ravens, but guess what? You know, and nobody covered. It's not good.
Wait. Okay. All right. Good.
But
you know, no, go ahead.
You go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Paul.
No, what I was going to say is that, like, even with what you said, I mean, it's so true in our industry. You know, that's what ends up happening, is that we end up getting these war wounds, right? And these scars, and that kind of navigates us from the standpoint of, it's like scar tissue, and we don't see other things that exist that could really benefit us. And but at the same time, it is a learning process, right? I mean, I tell people in sales, when you make that call, I expect you to fall down. I expect you to fumble through. I expect you, when you get off the phone, and be like, what just happened? You know what I mean? Because if that didn't happen, then I'd question, are you learning? Right? So you have to go through, and you have to try, and you have to, just like getting a truck, you have to get that, and you get the truck, and you have to try. But we want you to be a little bit more, I guess, educated about it. One of the things that Elevate does offer, we have a section that we make like book recommendations, and so you can go in there and hear some audio and see some book options, and maybe check out those books. They can help support in that respect, can help in regards to the mind, in regards to, just how you see things. That are business related, and then there's some other book options in there as well. But and then these people that have written books, they've gone through, they've got battle scars as well. They failed, and that's how they learned. And so it's good to learn from others, but sometimes we have to get our own scars in order to learn. So
yeah, I think as humans, we try to be so perfect all the time. We're just always afraid to make mistakes. And, whether you're a carrier or broker, that phone's heavy to pick up, and, it's nerve wracking. And, one thing I love about what you got going on over there too, is not only you're trying to elevate people's business, but their knowledge too. And I think that's really important. So I love that you guys do that.
It's such a value add. That's a really, I love the value add. You can learn so much from 2 hours of reading of 10 years of friggin' scars and knowledge from that author. This is what they do. This is why they've wrote the book. They say, hey, I got a knowledge base, I'm going to share it. And you can pick up on those lessons. So I love that you do that, Paul.
Yeah.
I've been trying to tell Jared to write a book, by the way.
Yeah, I think
I'll get him to write a book one day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Nice. All right. On what? Sports betting or what? What's it gonna be?
I think it'll be a children's book in crayon, Paul, is what it'll be. You know what I mean?
Hey, it'll probably be a bestseller.
Yeah. Jared the truck, and see where it goes.
Oh well, you know what? Those characters that you have on your intro, are they going to be on the cover? Is that?
I think it should be.
That'd be the best.
I'll see why not.
That's what we should.
I'm loving it.
We should.
But here's the thing, though: is that a part of okay? Is that you guys rapping, or who's that? Is that?
No, I wish that was us rapping.
It's not you guys.
We can't rhyme like that. I promise.
No,
we try. We try. Paul, how do you find some of these owner operators to support and help? Are people reaching out to you? Coming up to you, calling you, or are you doing some reach outs? What's that look like for you?
Yeah, that's a wonderful question. I mean, the thing has been, and I'll be honest with you, in regards to Elevate, just earlier this year, this has been in the works for, since 2015, in the sense that this was the idea, but just never got to it for whatever reasons. And then finally, it's like, all right, it's time to do it. So we started earlier this year to put together Elevate. And then as far as that goes, most of the time it's been supporting Elevate. So there's not been really that big push, yet to bring prospects to Elevate. So it's been communicating with a lot of older prospects, or older customers. So it's kind of been more in-house, I guess. So we haven't really reached out in that way yet.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. Let me see what you said here. Ever make a sales call and absolutely got your rear handed to you to the point that you look at the phone and question yourself? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
sales can be rough.
It's,
You know, you just can't take it. You can't take it personal. You just got to keep moving. There's somebody out there for you. It's just a matter of continually following up. And there's some people that are in bad moods when you're on the phone, and,
Right.
you just have to kind of take it with a grain of salt. So
yeah. The one thing that they say is, and I'm sure you guys heard this, you know, you're that one call closer to your customer. You know what I mean? You just have to go through it. You can't avoid it. And part of that is that one that hands it to you. You know what I'm saying? And I'll tell you one thing in regards to that. For me, making a call, it's not a sales call from the standpoint of, okay, I'm here, I'm trying to make this sale. For me, it's always practicing. I'm always, every call, I don't care how many thousands of calls I've made, it's always a practice call, because I can, that person on the other end, as you said, it might not, they might not be having a good day today, right? Any call that I make, it's not going to be what I expect or hope it to be, right? I have no clue of what's going to happen. So as far as that goes, I have to be on my toes, right? So it gives me an opportunity to practice, to always be ready and, go with whatever comes. So how can I take that person who seems like they're having a bad day? Is there a way that, how much can I get out of this call? So it just becomes a practice call at that point. If I'm not going to get anywhere with it, I just use it as a practice call, because then it makes me that much better for when I do connect with someone who is having a good day. You know what I mean? So I just look at it as a stepping stone.
Yeah.
Every call.
Yeah, I think you have to. One of my favorite, I honestly think this is what transitioned my entire life into a sales aspect, is when I was young, and I'm a terrible reader, by the way. I really struggle with it. I have to audio a majority of it because I'll read the whole page and then I question it. But when I was young, I actually loved choose your own adventure books. And no different than in sales. Like sometimes I'm like, oh man, if I could just call back and do that again, I think this is what I'd say. And I'll do that like the next week and just see what happens, because they don't remember. They get 20, 30, 40 calls a day. So it's just kind of an interesting. I love a choose your own adventure. I think that's really, for me, that's what it all comes down to. It's like, oh, I probably shouldn't have faced the dragon. I probably should have went to the enchanted forest, And so I love the choose your own adventure. I think that's huge. Tyler Keller has an interesting one. When looking for a salesperson to put on your team, what kind of percentage or cost should you expect? What an interesting question. I friggin' love this question.
So then what percentage to pay? Like a salesperson? Is that what they're saying? Is that,
how do you pay this cat? Yeah. How do you pay? Or, what seems to make sense?
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about, of course, again, it goes back to your operation in terms of cost and what you can afford and all that good stuff. I mean, to get a good salesperson, right? It's not cheap, right? You have even going to the broker side, brokers, agents. What are they? They're salespeople, right? And so the normal breakdown is what, like in terms of margin, right? So you're looking at 50%, 60%, could be 70%, depends upon that agent, the work that they do and what have you. So in terms of now as a carrier, I don't know. I mean, I don't even know what, to be honest with you, because I don't get into that. But as far as a minimum wage, what is the minimum wage? What is that going right now? I mean, what does that look like?
Nebraska's like 14, 15 bucks. 14, 15 bucks.
Is that right? Is that what it is? Okay. All right.
And when I started working, by the way, it was $475. Just to clarify that. Not that I'm a young guy. Not that I'm that old, but doggone it. It was $475. When I started working at Target, I remember I was like, oh, I get $4 an hour. This is awesome.
Yeah. I remember three. I think it was three something. And man, it was like, and we would get the raises, right? And the raises would be less than $1. I mean, it was like 50 cents. And, so as time went on, I go to college, get out of college, was like, I just can't do an hourly job. It's like, because I can't impact my income. I mean, I can work as hard as I want to, and then a year later I'm getting a 25-cent raise or something like that. And I'm like, okay, All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Where did I miss this?
So, but as far as paying someone, I mean, a good salesperson can really, really, take your business to the next level, right? If they've got the right tools, not trying to push on Elevate so much, but if they have the know-how and they have the tools to get it, right, to go out and get it, they can really transform your business, and then so with that, it's kind of like, what is it worth to you? What truly is it worth to you? Because I can go here and get a job and they pay me, $100 an hour, and then I go somewhere else and they pay me $50 an hour. It's not going to be the same from one, place to another, but what is it worth to that business, to have you there? So what is it worth to you?
Yeah, you're referring to a carrier, because you can't make calls going down the road.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. That's one thing too. You made a point where you said impacting your life, impacting your income. That's what I love about this industry is if you want to go make a lot of money, you can go do it. The only thing holding you back is picking this thing up and creating the relationships and making mistakes. So I'm really glad I got into this industry because you can impact your life. You can impact your kids. I mean, you just got to grind. It's not an easy industry to get into.
Yeah,
I didn't know what to expect coming into this industry, and I was like, holy cow, but I love it.
Yeah.
But holy cow, you can really make a boom if you just kind of put your head in the right place and just get after it.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about the industry? What is it that you like most about it?
Honestly, it's been the people that I've been able to meet and grow as an individual in this industry. And I know I got more to learn. I think everyone has more to learn in this industry, but I think just the ability to drive down the road and be like, see a semi and understand how things in the process works. Like I didn't really understand that when I was younger and didn't really care too much, but now I freaking love it, man. Going down the road, just seeing all these, these drivers. I like to talk to them now. I'm just like kind of see what they're doing, and I'm just interested, where they came from, why they're here. Yeah. It's fun.
I really like you saying that, and the reason being, I was just thinking because I remember back in the day, and this I don't know if this was the general consensus, but a lot of people would get into the industry as drivers because then it isolated them from other people. You know what I mean? It's like, and I can be on my own. I don't have to deal with people or what have you. But there is that piece as well, that other side where it does allow you to connect with a lot of different people, So I guess either way it goes, it can fit. But I like that you say that because your mind can be expanded so much. Just one last thing I wanted to connect with that. When we look at the world, how things are so connected, and with technology today, it's allowed this world to be that much smaller, right? And so today we get to have the opportunity to understand other things, right? And see how it connects to our industry. You know what I mean? So there's so many things out there that play a part in our industry and the economy, right? To make it go up, to make it go down. And when we start to understand those things and have those opportunities to expand our knowledge and talk to other people, we can start putting things together and we can see how it impacts what we do. And it gives us an opportunity to make better decisions. Am I going to get a truck? Do I want to get another truck? And then start to learn people and how to communicate with people so that you can build a company of people, So what you're saying, man, is valuable that you gain while you're out and about and talking to other people. It really is a big benefit. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Professional curiosity will make you, it's always worth your time. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Paul, I have loved you being on the show today. Obviously, we want to see people hop on your platform. How do people connect with you? How do people get in touch with you? What's the best way to get you involved in their life?
Yeah, absolutely. And they can reach me at, I'll just give my email address, which is paul.k. So paul.k at FR8, the digit 8, connect.com. They can actually go to the platform Elevate, FR8.com. So that's ELEVATE FR8, again, the digit 8.com. And so that's our new platform. You can go in there. You can actually, sign up. At this point, there's no charge. We're going to constantly be adding things to it, new features and modules and what have you. But yeah, so those are a couple of ways to go to the website, reach out to me directly, and we can go from there. 866 is the phone number, 866-342-0040, extension 109.
And they can join this platform for free, correct?
Yeah, right now they can get on. We're going to be adding, there's going to be there's a section we have, the developers have been putting stuff up and taking stuff down, but we have a section, and hopefully in the next couple of weeks, there'll be some solid stuff on there that they're going to be able to interact with. A section called forms, another one called guides, and they're really good stuff that we put together. The forms, let me see, is it the guide section? Well, one of them, when you go into it, if you're interested in heavy hauling, right? Or let's say reefer or dry van or what have you, it gives you some good general information and some, where to go to get information to get established and get started in that. But the information is there so that you can at least start thinking about it, right? Give you some things to think about. So then you can decide, okay, is this something I want to get into, or what direction do I want to go? And so some of that's going to be out there accessible just by signing up. And then right now, like the part that I was talking about with the book recommendations and videos and stuff like that, that's also going to be something that's accessible. So right now, yeah, they can sign up, and there's no cost for those mods.
See, I love that.
I love it, Paul.
I love that.
That's huge. Well, Paul, thanks again, man. I really appreciate you coming on and dropping some knowledge. Everyone, his contact information is in the description. So if you missed it, it is in there. His phone number, email, websites are there. Go give Paul, reach out to him, connect. Paul, thanks, man. I hope you have a great weekend. Watch a lot of football.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna watch some basketball too. I'm, big fan of the W, just like everyone else is. So, so we'll be doing that. And you guys do the same, man.
I love it, Paul.
Cool.